Hi y'all, it's Kathy from RustPaperScissors, and I'm here today to do the ABC April 2025 challenge. The letter is N, so I chose negatives to do negatives, and I have several different types of negatives here. I collect them. I go to estate sales, and friends have given me a lot of the negatives, and then you can also use, I believe this is MRI negative film that I just cut down. And so these are just some examples, like these are slides. This is 8mm, like our home movies from the 50s and 60s. This is 35mm negatives. And I don't know what type of camera made these negatives, but I have some of these, and this is also an example in an old cellophane bag. This is from 1972. So just a variety of the negatives, and they're fun to use. I wanted to state that I struggle with using pictures in a junk journal of people I don't know. So that is a little hard for me. So that's why I kind of wanted to do this video showing you some ideas on how to use the negatives, and maybe you could use your own historical pictures if you have the same qualms that I do. So I'm going to show you several little things that I've made. We're going to make a couple of tags, and then I have this little, it's called a Star Pocket album prints, and I believe maybe pictures came, I'm not sure if they came attached, but this has these two sides, and I thought this would be a fun insert into a junk journal. You could, what I did here was I added just several pictures, perhaps of the same event or the same era, and I slipped them on this side, and then on this side I just put in different types of negatives and slides and things that might have been that picture. So I thought it was just a fun way to use the slides or the negative film and the pictures. I'm not very savvy, but I did scan this little booklet into the computer, and I printed it out, and we're going to make one. And I wanted to say I'm not real savvy with digitals, but if anybody's interested in getting a scan of this little pocket album, leave me a comment, and I'll direct you to my shop, and then it's free, but I don't want you to put your email address into, the public. So I'll have you go to my shop and send me a message with your email, and then I believe I can attach it to an email, and you can make this little pocket. This one, I don't know if you can see, but the paper looks like it's been embossed, and I don't have that, so mine is just plain, but we're going to make one of those. I'm going to stop it and set up for what we're going to do, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to make this little pocket album first. I'm going to take the pictures that I chose, and I just chose a variety. These were Tim Holtz snapshots, and this was just a picture I got at an antique store. And I'm going to take out the different types of negatives, and we're going to make this. What I did was I put this into my printer, and I centered it on the page as best I could. And then when I took it out of the printer, I made score lines all around the image, and we're going to cut that off. And we're going to try and recreate this little go. Can you see? Okay, I'm just gonna. So now I have all these sides that have been scored. And so this is the back side. So what I did was I put this into the booklet here, and I traced around this to get this album, to get this effect. So what I'm going to do is just cut that out real quick, and I'm going to do that off camera because you don't need me to hold on, but I'm just going to cut out, I don't know if you can see the little pencil lines on this paper. Just a moment. Okay, I cut out the two little side panels, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of cut this at an angle and cut off that corner, and then I'm going to do the same over here, and I think it'll just make it easier to fold. And so okay, so what I'm going to do is attach this side to this folded part, and I'm going to glue that, and then we'll glue the other side up, and I may trim that so it doesn't show. Let's trim this side so that, just so it doesn't show. Okay. Okay. So bear with me just a moment, and we're going to try and, let me make sure you can see. I've scored this, but let me get my bone folder and just really score that so it closes good, and it'll be easier to work with. Okay. Now, I'm going to put a small bead of glue on this side of the and just attach that. Okay. And then we're going to do this side. And I'm just going to glue this. Okay. We're going to add this on the edge. Line it up really nice. And so now we have that. And then we're going to fold this up. So I didn't need to cut those, so I can just cut those off. And we'll just, you kind of live and learn. I'd never made this, so you just kind of live and learn. And then if I scored this at 3/4 of an inch. It might have been better to have scored it at 1/2. But I'm just going to leave it like that for time's sake, and we'll just go with it. They, you know, on theirs, they made it kind of fancy, and I'm not going to do that. So let's glue this down. I'm just trying to save time. And I'm going to glue this side, and then this side, glue this whole piece. This glue just sometimes does not want to cooperate. It's the Barely Art glue. I love it, but sometimes getting it out of the container is a challenge. Okay, we'll go with that and see how it does. Okay. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to score it in the center. So let's bring our scoreboard over here. And it is, let's see, maybe, oh, don't tell me I'm going to have to do some math. I'm going to stop it for just a second. Rather than do the math, I just folded it and I creased it just a little bit. And now I'm going to, it actually happens to be at the end of those little lines. So at least I didn't have to do some math. Oh my God, that's a scary thought. Okay, so we're just going to crease that. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. And then I'm just going to kind of line it up a little bit better. I didn't do a super great job of scoring it, but it works. So now I have a little pocket album like this one. If you would like to get this as a scan from, if you'll message me or go to my shop and send me a message, I will get your email and email you this little photo booklet. But see, you can put your pictures in there. And then this side holds the negatives. And it's just a fun little project. A cute addition to your junk journals. Now, let's make a couple of other little tags using the negatives. This one I thought would be fun if you had a picture of perhaps you and your sweetie, and perhaps one of your first dates was a, dinner, maybe dinner and a movie or something. So I thought a guest check would be a fun tag to have as the background, and then just add your picture, get your negatives on there, and then all I'm going to do is just use a rusted staple. Well, let me get it straight here. It's driving me crazy. Okay. If I'm off camera, I apologize. And then we're just going to staple it. And now you have a cute little tag with some negative on it. And you can write about your first dinner date. And then this one I thought would be cute. Just, this is a Tim Holtz photo booth, I believe. And I just thought if you put it on to a negative and added it to, this is a library card. And once again, I'm just going to staple it on there. And now we have another little tag. This was a tag that I already made. I took a negative and I added it to this photo. And then I just attached it to a tea-stained index card, or with graft on there, and then I just attached a alligator clip, quick little tag. This was another little tag where I used the index card. I added the negative, the 35mm negative, and then this was just a Tim Holtz picture. I think these are called snapshots. And there again, it's held on with a little owl clip. And you have a cute little tag. And this was more turned into like a little booklet. This picture reminds me of the birthday parties we had as a child. I remember my 6-year-old birthday party was a dress-up party. And we dressed up like fancy ladies in long dresses with pearls and mink stoles and gloves. And it was just a ball. But this is just a typical, I think, picture of what some of the birthday parties were like in the 50s and 60s. And so all I did was I just grouped them together, and I thought it would be fun You could just slide it into a journal. You could slide it to the edge of a page. But all it is just a picture, and you could write on the back. It's just maybe a slide negative. These are just some 35 millimeter negatives. These could be all the different, pictures you took at the party. I'm just, talking crazy, but this is just a little library card where you could say who came. This is a guest check where you could write down, what was served or who came, just however you want to document your party. And so I thought just, kind of grouping all this together was a fun idea. And just however you want to do it, just, stick it together. And then I add my little rusted alligator clip, and you have a little insert. So these are the tags that we made, and I just, want to encourage you to get out maybe some of your photos and use them in your journals, and use your negative film. Don't forget, if you want the little pocket album scan, please message me in my shop, and I will send that to you. It's free. Thank you for your time. I would appreciate any comments, and hope you have a wonderful day.